Welcome to The American Dream, a show that started right here in San Diego, America's finest city, that now spans positive media all across the country, real stories in real neighborhoods. Hi, I'm your host, Craig Sewing, and here's The American Dream. Welcome to The American Dream, a real show, not a reality show. The real estate, the lifestyle, the culture.
It's not just about what you're living in, but the community you're going to live in.
High-rise luxury living.
People are the vehicle, people are the connection, people are the expansion.
Helping folks just like you find your dream home.
It just never disappoints. Real stories in real neighborhoods with real experts. The opportunity to achieve our biggest goals and aspirations.
It's the American Dream.
Welcome to The American Dream TV. I'm your host, Stephanie Mars, and today I'm excited to introduce you to Country Roads Magazine's owners. Country Roads is an incredible, dynamic publication that covers the culture of South Louisiana, the Mississippi Delta, and the entire Gulf Coast. It's going to be an incredible conversation. Let's go inside. So we are here with James and Ashley. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having us.
Yes. And so, James, tell me a little bit about Country Roads, the history of the magazine, how you guys began, and where you are today.
Sure. Well, Country Roads has a long and deep history in St. Francisville. 41 years ago, in 1983, Ashley's mother, my mother-in-law, Dorcas Brown, was thinking about the fact that the World's Fair was coming to New Orleans in 1984. There was a lot of talk about how much tourism, how much economic development this was going to bring to Louisiana, and Dorcas, who is a small-town girl through and through, thought that the people who were coming to Louisiana had to see some more and needed to know what was happening outside of New Orleans as well. Country Roads was born. Now, when 1984 came and she'd done 5 or 6 issues, no one even stopped for gas in St. Francisville on their way to New Orleans. But what she found was that the locals and the people in the towns around here loved having a publication that showed them what was happening in the cultural life of the region. And that's how Country Roads came about. And 41 years later, here we are still doing it.
Why St. Francisville? You guys are still here thriving today with this being your headquarters.
You know, that's a really interesting question. Dorcas always had been born and raised here. Ashley, of course, born and raised here as well. You were 13 years old.
I was 13. Remember it being laid out on our dining room table.
That's right,
wow.
Exactly. And so this was very much where the magazine's spirit was born, if you like. You know, St. Francisville is a really unique and interesting place. You know, it's a little bit country sophisticated. It had this interesting little hippie bohemian thing going on as well. And then it had it was some country. And all of that found its way into what the magazine is about and the way it's presented.
And speaking of lifestyle, we're in this beautiful St. Francisville Inn at your recommendation, because this is a place that you know a whole lot about. So if you could tell us really briefly a little bit about the St. Francisville Inn, and then we're going to show you guys just what he's talking about.
Well, I wish we could take any credit at all for this beautiful St. Francisville Inn. This is the work of Brandon Branch and Jim Johnson, who moved to St. Francisville and reopened, I should say, the St. Francisville Inn in 2019, following an exquisite renovation. It had been an inn for a long, long time. By 2018 and 19, it was time that it got overhauled, and Brandon and Jim applied their beautiful design style to this gorgeous steamboat Gothic architectural structure and opened a small luxury inn with a beautiful restaurant and a beautiful bar. And what they've done is elevate what people in St. Francisville understand you can have if you do it well enough.
joining us for this episode of the American Dream TV. I'm your host, Stephanie Mars. We've had a wonderful time today with our guest, Country Roads Magazine, on location at the St. Francisville Inn. See you next time.
Bonjour mes amis, je m'appelle Jacob Martinolich et je suis votre chef aujourd'hui pour le show TV Le Rêve Américain Vaincre la Nouvelle-Orléans. Hey y'all, this is Jacob. I'm your host today with the American Dream Cell in New Orleans. Right now, we're at the outskirts of New Orleans, here to find the best food out there. And it's not where you might think. Because out of all the great restaurants we have here, the best food is at a local's kitchen. So now we're here with my MawMaw Peggy to cook ourselves a Cajun Gumbo. One of the most important things about Cajun cooking is getting fresh seafood. So we're here in Westwego at the Shrimp Lot to get ourselves some fresh catch. So come on, y'all. Let's make this gumbo with the best seafood around. A beautiful thing about home cooking with Cajun culture is that from household to household, every dish is made a little bit different.
There's no gumbo that tastes the same.
Right.
Everybody's gumbo is going to be different.
All right, so we finally made it here to the kitchen. I'm here with my MawMaw Peggy, and we've got all these ingredients in front of us. Tell us, Mama, what do we have?
I'm making a gumbo. It's going to be a seafood, chicken, sausage gumbo. And I don't measure anything. I just go shake.
That's how Cajuns do it, y'all. We don't need measuring cups.
We don't have recipes. We
drop
just
it in.
Drop it in there.
Let's get all these ingredients to the pot and start cooking.
Alrighty.
So how long is this going to be cooking, Mama?
Probably about 45 minutes to an hour.
Okay.
As soon as the chicken's done, then we can just add the shrimp.
Ça c'est bon. While the gumbo is cooking, Mama, why don't you tell us a little bit about our Cajun heritage?
Mother was born on a houseboat in Persimmon Pass, which is close to Morgan City, and they would make moss mattresses.
People used to sleep on moss.
And I grew up sleeping on a moss mattress in a bunk bed. And to me, I thought it was very comfortable, My dad, his mother only spoke French. And when he went to school, it was a one-room schoolhouse. And his teacher, it was a new teacher in the area, and she didn't speak any French.
Of course.
So he spent 3 years in first grade.
He failed, wow.
3 years in first grade until he could speak English. And of course, at that time, his teacher learned how to speak French. My dad built the house that we were living in by himself. We lived in a little 2-room house.
Tell us a little bit more about Mama Hebert's childhood and growing up. You mentioned she used to peel shrimp?
The culture of the Cajun people, when they turned 12 years old, they had to quit school. So usually in 6th grade, you didn't even go to 6th grade.
Wow.
You were 12 years old and you had to go to work. And my mom and my aunt both worked at where the Shrimp Lot is now. They had a factory, shrimp factory, and they peeled shrimp. And they had to fill up these 5-gallon buckets, and which is a lot of peelings. So they would get paid 25 cents per bucket of shrimp.
1/4 for a whole bucket of shrimp.
For a whole,
just the peelings.
Just the peelings.
I am so excited to dig in. Thank you so much, Mama, for cooking this authentic Cajun meal with us.
I love cooking.
Ça c'est bon. Well, this is Jacob, your host with the American Dream TV Cell in New Orleans. From my family to yours, bon appetit.
New Orleans is known as one of the most unique cities on the planet, a tourist destination, hosting events like Mardi Gras, Jazz Fest, even the Super Bowl. But what's it like to be a New Orleanian? Where do we go? What do we do? And more importantly, what do we eat? In this episode, I'm going to show you exactly how it is to live life in the Big Easy. People think of New Orleans, they think about the food, the French, the African, the Creole cuisine, but little do they know, we have some of the best Vietnamese food on the planet. And my buddy Tung here is going to tell us about what he does.
What's going on? So I incorporate a lot of the American cuisines that I am traditionally eating every day, tacos, barbecue, burgers, that sort of deal, but infuse it with traditional Vietnamese food.
Cool, so tell us what you serve for us today.
We're serving a smoked brisket pho. We smoke this brisket for about 12 hours, might get a nice spark to it. Do the broth traditionally, 24-hour simmer. Then we incorporate pouring the broth over the bark to incorporate that smoky flavor into the broth, and then that nice tender slice of smoked brisket. Then over here we have the smoked chicken roti. So this roti right here is a smoked chicken thigh with all the banh mi ingredients on here on paratha. It's an Indian flatbread made with ghee, a little spicy maybe with a hoisin barbecue sauce. Same kind of concept. This next dish is a pulled pork bao, and it has a smoked pulled pork in there, but it's just a different vessel. This bao is traditionally in Taiwanese and Chinese cuisine, but over here I incorporate with the banh mi flavors, and especially with the Citrus style Texas barbecue with the smoked pulled pork.
Ooh, you got me hungry now. All right, we're here at St. Roch Market with the owner, Kevin Fadeau. Kevin, thanks for joining us.
Hey, thank you for having me.
So look, I want to ask you, what's a little history of the place and what is it now?
Okay, so St. Roch, this building is one of the original public markets in the public market system in New Orleans. There's only two left, the French Market and this one, St. Roch. And as far as what it is today, it's very similar to the way it used to be. Different vendors that are food entrepreneurs in some way are selling their wares in a stall type of situation right here at St. Roch. Next year we will be celebrating 150 years here at St. Roch continuously, which is pretty awesome.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
I remember coming to get coffee when you were starting Coast Roast.
Yeah.
So how did you become the owner?
My very first coffee shop was here at St. Roch Market. So from here I did other CR coffee locations around the around New Orleans. And so for me, operating the whole market now, it's given me an opportunity to I really want to help the vendors that are in here move forward with their businesses in whatever way they want to do it, whether they want to open more locations or do other things, like do you help to be able to use this awesome public market as a launching point for their businesses. This place has meant so much to New Orleans for its entire history, it's because of New Orleans' passion for it. It has been saved multiple times throughout the years.
Yeah, I can remember it was a big moment after Katrina where this reopened, and it was sort of like, okay, it was like a little beam of light.
Yeah.
My grandma is buried right around the corner in the cemetery.
In St. Roch Cemetery, which is the name of which is how the neighborhood got its name. It's the rock of the neighborhood. That's it.
Another unmistakable and beloved feature of New Orleans is its architecture. So I figured we'd check out a listing nearby to St. Roch Market. This is 2134 Pauger Street. Originally a double bass shotgun built sometime in the 1860s, this was a very popular style, but now it's been turned into a single family home. There's 4 bedrooms, there's 2 full baths, and over 2,200 square feet of living with a large backyard that's kind of a rarity in this neighborhood. Now some of you may be saying, what the heck's a shotgun double? Well, think of it as a house divided in the middle, and all the rooms on each side are stacked up in a nice neat row. This was done for efficiency and also done before they had air conditioning. You'd open up the front door, open up the back, and get a nice little breeze through it. I think this new layout is a little more conducive to modern living. Thanks for tuning in, and we hope you join us for the next episode as we explore more of the food and the culture of these New Orleans neighborhoods. I'm your host, Brian Maurice, and we'll see you next time.
Today, I'm a tourist in my own town. Welcome back to another episode of American Dream TV. I'm your host, Jenna Guerrero. Today, we're going to be meeting up with my friend Tyler with Explore Houma for a fun-filled day on the bayou. Let's go catch up with him. Tyler? Tyler?
Jenna! Hey!
I heard you were the guy to call if you want to pass a good time on the bayou.
I am. You called the right one.
Awesome. What do you have planned for us today?
Well, first of all, welcome to Explore Houma. We got a lot of great things planned for today, lots of adventures, but you're actually at the best first stop in our area.
Yeah?
Yeah, so you are at our white shrimp booths, which we are very much bayou to table down here. So actually, I'm feeling a little hungry. Do you want to go grab a bite to eat at Melvin's restaurant?
Yes,
All right.
absolutely.
The alligator's out of commission, so jump on.
Let's go! Yum. Tyler, you took me to the jungle?
Beb, we still in Louisiana.
Okay.
But we have a lot of things planned for you still.
Let's go.
Let's do cheers.
So Tyler, tell me where we're at and why you love to take guests here.
So we're at Melvin's Restaurant, which is right alongside our navigational canal, which has stunning views. So our visitors love coming here, as well as the locals. They know their lunch specials and they know the family because it's a family-run restaurant. But most importantly, it is part of our crawfish trail. So I have a special guest for you today.
Yeah.
She is Melissa DeRocher, who is actually the creator of our crawfish trail here in Explore Houma. Would you like to meet her?
Absolutely.
All right, let me go get her.
Melissa, you are the inventor of the crawfish trail. Can you tell me about that?
Sure. So the Bayou Country Crawfish Trail is a culinary tour of Terrebonne Parish. It's comprised of over 45 stops on our trail. We have local mom and pop restaurants. We have boil houses. We're showcasing the incredible Gulf to Table seafood we have and the product we have in Terrebonne Parish. Just like Melvin's, it's one of our great stories on the trail.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that with me.
You're welcome.
I loved learning all about the crawfish trail and all the delicious food we just ate at Melvin's. So what's next?
So we are going to Greenwood Gator Farms to hold some gators.
Can I kiss one?
Only with a rubber band.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, Tyler, we made it to Greenwood Gator Farms. What do we have planned?
We have a lot of great things planned for you. So this is actually a great tour to take. They have gators, of course, but I'm gonna let you meet the head gator in charge, which is Tim Domain. He is the man behind all of this lovely property, the wonderful tour that you're about to take, and all the exciting big gators that you're about to see.
Hey, Tim.
Hey.
How are you?
Good. How
What you got going on at this gator farm?
Well, a little bit of everything today. Do you want to do a tour? Go feed some alligators?
Oh, I would love to.
Hold some alligators? It's all up to you if you're brave enough.
I would love to.
All right, let's go.
Let's do it. Mr. Tim, we know you have gators here, but what other kind of animals do you have?
Let's see. We have a donkey. We have a miniature horse. We got goats, ducks, geese, peacocks, turkeys, a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
Trying to build up more and more every year just to have more for the kids to feed and look. And because kids love animals and to feed them and stuff like that. So I'm making everything for the kids.
Thanks for hanging out with me in my hometown today. I hope you enjoyed being a tourist with me. We'll see you next time on the Bayou. See you later, alligator.
Welcome to the Turo neighborhood of New Orleans, Louisiana. Today, we are going to be looking at a home that goes from humble beginnings to $1 million listing. Join me, Sarah Teoquin, your host for The American Dream.
As he stumbled through the bar, well, he said, give me some more love, give me some love, give it all.
This home was built right around 1885, and that is a time in New Orleans that was undergoing significant social, economic, and cultural developments. We're here in the Turo neighborhood, and it was an emerging, developing residential area that was characterized by middle class and affluent residents, and it's an ongoing urbanization. This neighborhood gets its name from the Turo Infirmary. The Turo is one of the most notable institutions of New Orleans. It was founded in 1852 by philanthropist Judah Turo. And by 1885, it was a well-established infirmary that was a major medical facility that was served for the city, and it provided care to a diverse population. By 1885, the city continued to struggle with diseases like yellow fever that devastated the city for decades. But we didn't let a little old thing like yellow fever stop us from starting Mardi Gras, did we? By that time, the Mardi Gras celebrations were in full swing, drawing large crowds that was contributing to New Orleans' vibrant culture. Mardi Gras in New Orleans has since evolved into a world-renowned event, gathering millions every year. The home is located just off of the historic parade route and has been hosting Mardi Gras parties for over a century.
Well, he said, give me some love, give me some love, give it all.
So we're here in the home with Terrence Davis, the listing agent. He's with Keller Williams. He's going to tell us all about how they picked the home, the innovative design, and the passion that's leading this flip.
Well, Sarah, it's pretty easy. New Orleans is known for its architecture.
Right.
Brings in buyers, tourists from all around the world. The draw for this property is one thing, is the location. We're 1 block to historic Magazine Street and 1 block to historic Mardi Gras.
As you can see from all around us, the old and the new is integrated. Can you tell us how you're really taking it from historic to timeless?
Oh, absolutely. The transition of these properties is really what's the fascinating part of these properties. Bringing in the old while blending in the new is what really sets these properties apart. The historic details, the pine floors all the way throughout, the brick fireplaces as you see, the high ceilings, all draw buyers in. But then we also can mix old with new to create modern day living.
This is a historic house on the historic parade route, right off of Historic Magazine, and historically, it has had 3 separate units. Now, it's being converted into 1. Can you tell us about it?
Oh, absolutely. So when we purchased the property, Sarah, the property was 3 units under 1 roof. So we are now going to create 1 big family home. The home is going to be 5 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms, just under 4,000 square feet with a gorgeous pool that's going to give you that amazing indoor-outdoor feel.
So we're just a hop, skip, and a jump down the road in the historic Garden District. And we are standing in the finished product of the same builder of the home that's currently under construction. Terrence is going to tell us about some of those similarities.
As we came from 933 Milan, you saw the beginning of the construction process. Yeah. Well, this is actually an example of the finished product that 933 Milan will resemble. Here we're in the Garden District at 2300 Britannia. The home went through an incredible renovation. It was taken down to the studs, but again, the developers kept all the integrity of your home, the fireplaces, the wood floors, all the original doors, and the wood work throughout the entire house.
Terrence, I just want to take this opportunity to say thank you so much for showing both of these listings. They're absolutely magnificent.
Thank you, Sarah. Thanks for having me. I always appreciate the chance to get to show off the fine work done by Crescent City developers. They're truly doing some magnificent work around the city by preserving the details of these historic homes.
Folks, what an incredible transformation this home has come. From historic beginnings to a spectacular transformation to a $2 million masterpiece. It's a true testament of the power of vision, of the hard work, and the enduring spirit of New Orleans and of the American dream. I'm Sarah Teoquin. I've been your host, and until next time, keep turning those big dreams into reality.
I hope you enjoyed today's show, produced from America's finest city, but shot in the heart of your neighborhoods. Don't forget positive media when the world really needs it. Follow us on social media at The American Dream TV. See you next time. In the meantime, cheers to your American dream.